Hello again everyone, Truck CB Sales here with a before and after tune-up report for Tim in Florida on this Connex 4300 HP. Now I don't usually do these publicly, a lot of times I'll send a before video to the customer, but in this particular case I was prompted to do this. The customer sent a letter, like I really always want, a nice note on top on what you want done with all your contact info. Thank you for that, sir. Said you were seeing 40 average and 60 peak on your Dosy. Well, the reason this is important to talk about is because this is like the third time this week that someone has pointed out their RMS or average power that their Dosy's showing. Well, a Dosy can't truly show average power. It shows a peak power. Sometimes they're too loose, and that's the name Dosy watch they get. Sometimes they're a little tight. I know if you follow D-Rail in Georgia, a good friend of mine who done our Wolfman CB, he has a Dosy in line as well as his birds, as well as the LP100A, and often the Dosy is the tightest on the peak. But the thing about the Dosy is you can crack them open and just set them to show whatever you want to. So there's a lot of guys that's been inside of them, a lot of them that leave the factory and are way too tight or way too loose, and all you can really do is calibrate them to a bird by the carrier at full scale. You go to calibrating it by a peak swing and it's going to be off on the carrier, and that's because of the meter movement itself. But getting back to this radio, customer showing 40 average and 60 peak. So we're going over here to the birds, 100 watt slug. I haven't touched this radio yet, just plugged it up. Hello. So I'm showing 70 watts peak. Okay, so I'm showing 10 watts more peak than the Dosy was showing at his place. Of course, voltage plays into account for that, which we're just at 13 volts flat. Let's roll that up a little bit here. I was bringing up an old radio, kind of like a Variac, so to speak. 13.8. Hello. That's 72 peak. Okay, so we're seeing this meter is reading looser than the Dosy on peak. You thought, well, I thought Dosys are always loose. No, like I said, not always. But they can't read average. Here's a 50 watt slug. And if that Dosy's reading right in average, then it should go right over here to this 40 mark. Hello. We're getting 6 bird. We're getting 6 watts of average power and over 70 peak. They don't compute. We should at least be getting around 30 average, right? But we're not. So we're gonna go into this radio and fix it up, see if we can get the average power up on, do our tune alignment. I'm gonna do my best to pause this video, set the camera off to the side for an hour or two, and hopefully we'll be able to come right back. Stay tuned. And just like that, with the world of technology, what seems like a second to you guys, it's an hour and a half later. Still have to go through the receive on this, but I want to just go ahead and do this quick video. What we've seen before. Now, while I had this top off and the bottom off, it's not got the Toshiba. It's got the DEI 2290 in it. It's got the red dot on the front of it, red blotched out. So we're not going to see quite the power out of it that I'd hoped if it had been a Toshiba, but nonetheless, it's pretty important. So 50 watt slug. Let's just go ahead and show you the peak first, okay? Hello. So we're getting 80 watts peak, still at the same voltage. So we picked up, 8 or 10 peak. You think, well, it's not much. But look at the average. It was only doing 6 bird before. Hello. We're doing 22 average. We're almost doing 4 times the true average power that this radio was doing. So what that's going to do, it's going to pick up the audio clarity, the punch, that in-your-face sound, and it's just going to run a lot better with an amplifier. Okay, we're going to do a little more tuning with this, but this is the video I wanted to get out to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Probably the longest video I've done in a while. If you haven't checked out my website, check it out at www.truckscbsales.com. Bump bump.